Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. They have big deals, rebates, boat show pricing going on right now through April 30th. So you got this week to get down there. Call 423-442-9344 to set up an appointment. Now they're going to be wide open as usual on May 1st. They're not in Knox County. They're following the state's rules. They're wide open on May 1st. But right now they ask you until May 1st to go ahead and call and set up an appointment before coming in. Madisonville Marine, good folks. They've been doing it for nearly 50 years down there. Check them out with that great pricing this week. Okay, mentioned last segment, Chancellor Plowman said that on her YouTube video that socially distance as we need to. That's the best case scenario. What does she mean by that? Don't know. Let's take it as you do need some sort of social distancing. Okay, because I have a hard time believing that by fall they're going to say, wide open, no social distancing.
Yeah,
so let's just take it in that direction.
Okay.
If that's the case, and I've heard people talk about going to the stadium and you sit apart, I think that's going to be difficult because a number of reasons. First of all, tailgating. Okay, how do you keep people apart for tailgating? Entry, you're all going to get there about the same time and you're going to have lines to get in. Seating, okay, you set them in different zones, different areas. That's going to be tougher in a place like Neyland where you've got benches instead of actual seats you could cover with tarp or something. Quarters and halftime, you have people stand up, mill about, concession lines, bathroom lines, and then certainly if they're not all entering at the same time, they are all going to be exiting at the same time. Guys, I don't want to be negative nabob here, but it seems difficult. If you're social distancing, it seems difficult to think you'll be able to have college football, which is a plus, but with fans in the stands.
Yeah, it would work at Vanderbilt, but I'm not sure
That's right.
if there are any other venues in the SEC where that would work. But you're right. There's no way to keep a large amount of people from congregating at some point. Concession stand, bathroom, exiting, whatever. That's going to make it very difficult to have games, I think, if you have social distancing this fall on college campuses. So I don't know how you'd work it. I do think that if you told them you can't go to the games, then I think you'll see games still being played because of the TV revenue. Mm-hmm. But as far as having stands in the fans, I think that's going to be a tough ask the way I see it right now.
Well, I mean, and if you're talking about social distancing, don't you almost have to do a lottery for tickets if you're going to do tickets? I mean, it would be maybe 30% of capacity, but certainly no more than 50% the way they've been talking. If it stays that way,
my guess is they would do it the way they do it for bowl games, and that's the biggest donors get the right to those tickets.
Yeah, and then you can still have them in the luxury suites and go that way. But John, I mean, that just nailed it. It's a logistical nightmare to be able to pull this off, but even more than that, look at the liability that's involved.
Right.
And so I mean, we just really have so many more questions and answers, and we got to see how this looks moving forward in a month, 6 weeks.
Chuck, you're a passionate fan who enjoys going to the games and has for years.
Yes.
That said, obviously, football plus fans, that's what we're used to, that's what we want. If it's football, there are some people who say no fans, no football. I'm not in that crowd. Where are you? As a passionate, I love the games. If you get football but you aren't able to go see it in person, where are you with that?
Well, I tell you what, that would sure be strange and awkward, but that's better than no football at all. I mean, if that's where you have to start going forward, then let's start there and see where it takes us.
The problem that runs into, though, Jimmy, is I mentioned that last segment, you had the Knox County mayor and the Knoxville mayor both tell Randy Boyd pointedly that we're depending on this for revenue. If you have football but the fans aren't there, that doesn't help your revenue, I don't think.
No, it doesn't, because the revenue is coming from hotels, it's coming from restaurants. Et cetera. So, that is not helping your situation financially for a county or for a city if you don't allow fans. And a lot, not the majority, but there are a whole lot of fans that go to Tennessee football games that are from out of state or out of the area.
Right.
And that's where you're increasing your economic impact.
And when you talk about that, boy, we all have friends, I guess, that have businesses or Cumberland Avenue, the Strip. Look at how bad this has been for them the past few years. You know, where they had the road torn up there for over 2 years while they're working.
Finally get that finished.
Yes, you get that, and then this happens. So, I mean, we just all need to hang in there and hope this works out for the best.
Well, we were talking in between segments, and I know different people are in different spots out there. Look, I'm dealing with 20 businesses. My business attaches to 20 other businesses. I'm feeling this. I know. There are other people out there who, some aren't as bad, some are much worse, and I get that. But as a whole, I will say, if you had told me in a science fiction preview 6 months ago, this happens, how will this country react? I would have thought, oh, it'll be a nightmare. And while, yes, it's a nightmare, many people have adjusted so far. It's been 5-6 weeks of hell, but people are getting through it by hook or by crook. So banding together, that is the key. And I do think while you look at some of the negatives, the hoops you've still got to jump through, it is positive that you're looking at ADs who are starting to talk about it. You got presidents and chancellors who are starting to look at plans. So at least that day of there's nothing to even look forward to is gone. At least you're now trying to look forward and figure out ways to do it. When we come back, well, first, let me tell you about ExpressFrame and what they're doing. Visit expressframe.net. See, I got their website correct. Expressframe.net. They plan to open May 1st. They got to hear from the city and get proper approval first, but that's the plan. You can follow their website. You can give them a call to figure out exactly what their plan is as it changes based on the information they get. But for those of you, many of you have been working on puzzles during this quarantine, if you can get it into FastFrame, they're doing a framing special. So you can always remember this as your COVID puzzle. So they're doing framing specials. They're going to do a lot of specials for their grand reopening at ExpressFrame. Okay, when we come back, the SEC is a machine in terms of NFL talent production. We know that. The numbers say it more than ever this year. Does that change the way we look at the 8-5 for Jeremy Pruitt last year off a team that only had 2 guys drafted? We'll discuss. We'll be back.